Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you enjoying the channel and all the videos. Please like, share, subscribe, leave loads of comments below. Join in the live chat as well. And check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. I'm going to be adding lots more info to there as well. Now, I just wanted to start off the live stream with some updates on the channel, what's been happening really. Getting lots more subscribers now, getting a lot more comments, a lot more emails, and that's fantastic. Lots more engagement, a lot more questions coming through as well. Some of those questions, I'll sort of discuss this a little bit later on, but some of those questions are leading directly to new videos or new videos ideas or parts of video ideas as well. So that's really good. More questions that come through, the more you kind of realize what people want to ask really, and what information people want to look for. So that's all good. So whether you're going to join in live or whether you're going to watch this later, by all means, just thanks to everybody who's subscribing and also asking questions and leaving the positive comments as well. Yeah, look, you're always going to get some negative comments, but hopefully keep those down to a minimum as well. Right, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about, I've got a little playlist here as well. Now, I've got a video coming out soon with discussing the Harley Davidson sales of all motorcycles all over the globe and in the different geographic regions for the last couple of years, and also how that relates to Sport Glide sales as well. Just to give you an update on that, I've been in touch with Harley UK, Harley Europe, and also Harley in the United States to access specific model sales for the last 3 years. I'm still waiting on a reply of that. I am also now officially hooked up as the an official media outlet for Harley as well, so I'm able to access that side of it as well, which in fairness isn't a lot of difference from what anybody else can access as well. It's all the same really. So with the Sport Glides, for example, I got an email from Royce, I believe it was, in Texas, so thanks very much for that. And he informed me about Harley dealerships over there. They haven't heard anything at all about Sport Glide demise. In fact, anything at all about any models being degraded. There was from somebody else, I'm not sure where the comment came through or an email, so apologies for that, but they also said that they got a new Harley Sport Glide, and they've been riding it around and getting lots of comments, lots of positive comments from other Harley riders, which is great. This is always nice when you get that kind of thing, isn't it? One of the interesting things was, though, that many people were going up to him on his Sport Glide and saying they didn't even recognize the bike, or they weren't even aware of the Sport Glide. And he seems to think that it's a really poor marketing issue from Harley, particularly the United States. Now, I bring this up particularly because in Europe we probably have a different view of the Sport Glide, or maybe there's a lot more awareness about it. Maybe there's a bit more pomp and ceremony when it first came out. Perhaps a lot more the dealerships have been pushing out a little bit. Now, I'll give you an example. When I phone up my local Harley dealership, I haven't done it since the new model launch, by the way, so it might have changed. But what they were doing, when they put you on hold, you go through to a recording, and that recording would always be of the launch of the Sport Glide at the EICMA, which is the Milan Motor Show motorcycle show, as to say, in 2018. And it's like a big, here's the Sport Glide, that was featured in 2018, so it's all that kind of thing. So anytime you phone up a Harley dealership, if you put on hold, you hear about the Sport Glide. Now, I would assume now that the Lowrider S has come out, and yeah, maybe not the Road Glide Limited, but more so the Lowrider S. Maybe that message will be changed on there. So it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see if American dealerships have that kind of put on hold message to advise Harley owners, of new bikes on the market. It might be, I mean, I've sort of talked about this before, it might be a case that the Sport Glide just doesn't fit into typical Harley ownership in the United States, which is a bit more, because of the road designs and everything like that, it might be more suited in many ways, and is the fashion, of course, for the big baggers and all that kind of stuff. Frederick, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. So that was an interesting thing, I thought, about the about that message that I got. There's a couple of messages that I got about the Sport Glide in the United States. So I am waiting on more info on sales figures for the Sport Glide and for other models as well. As soon as that comes in, or as soon as I get more news on that, I'll either bring you another live stream, or I'll bring you definitive information on that. Now, what else has been happening with the channel? As you can imagine, I've been making lots and lots of videos, lots of different types of videos, and asking different questions of the bike and discussing what ifs. There has been a good reaction, I would say, to some of the videos. Some, obviously, it's not going to suit everybody, of course. And it's going to be like that over the next few weeks as well. Pretty much, there's going to be a daily video now up until the 20th, 27th, maybe the 26th, 27th of September. I'm going to be out of commission for about 3 weeks. I'll try and answer as many comments as I possibly can from the end of this month for about 2 or 3 weeks. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to get them all. So, please keep on commenting. I will try and do a daily update or get to the comments on a daily update anyway. But suffice to say, there's lots of video content coming out on a daily basis throughout that whole range. So basically what I've had to do for the last sort of months really is not only produce daily content up until now, I've also had to ramp it up about 2 or 3 times to not only cover the period which I'm not going to be doing YouTube, but also covering the period when I first start again. So I've got a bit of a gap really. So I've had to almost create an extra month's worth of content and think ahead really. So there's lots of videos coming. As I say, some is technical, some is sort of more opinion based, a few moto vlogs as well coming through as well. And I'll be doing a lot more motor vlogs in the future, and maybe go riding to different areas and talking about different things as well. And obviously going to motorcycle events as well. I am planning to go to the UK Motorcycle Live event in November. I probably, as I did last year, I did a big walk around, a big motor vlog, and discussing everything. So obviously I'm going to be focusing on the brands which I really like. Well, actually I like all the brands, and I like all sorts of bikes. But obviously I'll be looking at the Harley, I'll be looking at Indian, I'll be looking at Triumph and Norton. Those are the ones I always like, and also some of the smaller manufacturers. Herald I quite like, and also sort of CCM, Royal Enfield if they're there as well. I'll be looking at those guys as well. So now coming back to some of the messages that I'm getting as well, and some of the emails. That's really great. Keep those coming, because I say that helps with some video ideas for the future, which is really good. As I say, I've already had a few emails sent to me for specific questions or comments on specific questions about the Sport Glide, about how to do certain things. And put it this way, it's been quite interesting trying to figure out some of these things as well. Harley doesn't always make it easy or make it clear cut, or they make it sound a lot clearer than it actually is. So I've been looking at that. I've also been digging deep into the service manual and the technical aspect of the bike, and not only the Sport Glide but Softails as well. I've got the service manuals open here, so if anybody wants to ask me a question direct now on the live chat about a particular torque setting or whatever, I'll quickly try and dig it out for you. If not, if you want to leave it in the comments below, and if I see the comment, I'll try and give you the answer to that as well. But obviously, as I say, I'm going to be away for the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks as of this Saturday, or out of commission, I should say. So that might be a bit difficult, really. As I say, I'll be doing a live Q&A session at the end of this bit after I give you all the updates and everything like that. Now, I wanted to give you a few updates on Softails and on Sport Glides as well, in terms of known problems, known issues, all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not sure if you remember, but I think on the last live stream and a couple of videos as well, I showed you how to access information about the Harley Davidson, how you can get into the information portal, all that kind of stuff. So if I quickly go over to the video, here we go, right, information portal, and let me just change that screen over so you can see it as well. Right, okay, so this is the Harley service information portal. So if on this section here, let me just go to that, there we go. When it says select a vehicle, you enter a VIN number, whatever your VIN number is, and then you will be able to access your details about your particular bike. Right, so if I just do that now, and I'll just do that, I'm going to quickly show you. Right, so there we go, I'm back. Right, so I'm going to go to there, and right, let me just put that, perfect. And just see if that's working. Okay, great. So if I go back to this, apologies, it is, there we go. Right, so I've just put in my VIN number, and there we go. That's my my bike, and what a beauty it is, I'm sure you will agree. Yeah, the Sport Glide. So there we go. So I've got all the information I ever want. Now, it's got recent important documents, and these are all latest issues on the right hand side. You have to sign up to this, obviously subscribe to this, but if you go to vehicle documents on the left hand side, and then if you, and let me just make sure that's still, yeah. If you go to the vehicle documents and you come all the way down to service bulletins, right here on there, you'll see all the actual problems with the Softails, the M8, all these kind of little service bulletins that are coming through. And so, you know, you can actually access this information, there you go, but you need a subscription as well on that. So, you know, if you subscribe to this information portal, you're going to be able to access all this information. Right, let me just come out of that a minute. There we go. Done. Right, so I'm back. So that's one way of getting all the latest information, the service information or service bulletins about your particular bike, whether it's a Softail, whatever it is, because all you're doing is just putting your VIN number in, and Harley gives you all the information that is there. Right, let me just come back here to just check the chat. There we go, good. So there is another way of doing it. Now you can basically check on your particular bike, on your Harley, if there's any latest information, or if there's an outstanding safety recall on your bike. So basically what you do, if you go to this page here, and let me just bring this back up for you. Right, there we go. Right, so you go to this safety recall information, and it is, let me just check that, it's Harley, www.harley-davidson.com US/owners/motorcycle-maintenance/crikey service-recalls.html. Right, okay, and what you do, you put your VIN number in here again, right? So whatever that is, and then it will come up with whatever your bike is. So if I just do this, there we go. Right, hello, I'm back again. Okay, so let me just go there, and I probably got the wrong one in. Let me just, I forgot what my number is. Something like that. Hold on. It is. Just bear with me 1 second. See if this works. Yes, there we go. Right, so let me just quickly swap over here. Sorry about all this swapping over, but there we go. Right, so once you put your VIN number in, then at the bottom, so what you can see, you got your VIN number for your particular bike, and you will see if there are any open recalls, safety recalls for your particular bike. Whether it's only open, whether there was already one, whether that's already been closed off, whether your bike has already had it done. And if there are any sort of product programs for your vehicle as well. So it explains what's a safety recall and what is a product program. So if I quickly show you that. When Harley-Davidson determines that your Harley-Davidson motorcycle or accessory contains a safety-related defect or does not comply with an applicable federal motor vehicle safety standard, we will initiate a safety recall and address the condition free of charge. And repair service can be performed at any authorized Harley-Davidson dealer. So what's a product program? Product programs are initiated in the interest of providing non-safety product improvements to motorcycles or accessories in the field for continued owner satisfaction with our products. The program repair service or solution can be performed by any authorized Harley dealer. All very sobering stuff there. Look, okay, so all I'm saying is that that is information that you can access at any time. You can have access at any time to that, you know, for your particular bike, if you want that particular information, as you say, relatively at hand. Obviously, every time you go into your service, the dealership or your mechanic should be able to check up for all the safety recalls or service bulletins as well. You know, so you know that service information portal and that safety recall page is something that you might want to check out as well. Frederick, yeah, sorry, connection issues here. Well, hopefully that gets resolved soon, there, fella. Right. Now, there aren't any, as far as I know, any major problems with the Sport Glide range or the Softail range. There have been a few those. There have been a few belt issues, engine issues, sensor issues. There have also been starting and electrical issues as well. But they've kind of been isolated cases as well, although Harley dealerships have been made aware of them. I have made a series of videos addressing quite a few things, and I have made a series of videos of how to diagnose faults on your bike, and also how to troubleshoot different I've made different videos on how to troubleshoot different faults on your particular bike, and where you can get the information, how you can relay that information to your Harley dealer or mechanic or whatever. I think that's one of the things that I'm kind of looking at, how we as Harley owners, how if we can't fix it ourselves, if we can't do anything ourselves, how are we going to get the best information that we can and then move it or send that over to the Harley dealership? So effectively we're speaking the same language. You know, I for one feel a little bit out of sorts if I take my bike or a car or whatever and I can't work on it myself, let's say, so I have to take it to a garage and they start talking another language, you know, that I don't particularly understand, or they get very technical. A good mechanic, a good technician will be able to talk to you at a certain level and will be able to explain exactly what's going on and why it's failed and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes there are no reasons. Sometimes things just fail and that's the way they are. Other times there are particular issues. So I've made a series of videos about that. They'll all be coming out very soon. And as I say, over until the end of the month, there's a lot more happening on the channel. And I suppose lastly, there is the other thing about sort of comments on the videos. As I said, I've already mentioned that before, but so thanks for all the comments and the engagement. That's really great. And all the emails and asking questions and all that kind of stuff. Really good. All the supporters out there. Now, there have been, what can I say? I wouldn't say negative comments, and I wouldn't say haters out there or anything like that, because, you know, that's, you know, I don't tend to suffer that kind of thing very easily. I must say I'm quite privileged in many ways. I don't get that kind of negative attention thus far, although I'm sure I will at some point. It's just the nature of the beast. But I think, you know, for the most part, everybody's been really good and really helpful. And I think, you know, I want to learn and I want to share what I know with you guys, and it's great that you can share whatever you have, you know, with me as well, or not with me, but with the rest of the people who are watching the videos as well. So that's really good, and, you know, hopefully, you know, that continues. I've got to say, I was really disappointed in a couple of I for some reason last week, the week before, I logged onto Harley forums or a Harley Davidson forum, and I've got to say I asked a question and I was met with such a negative reply. And I thought, wow, that's a bit tough. And then I started reading some of the comments of other people, other threads, let's say, and it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me that, you know, people were getting fed up of forums, actually, because I got fed up of forums many years ago. The problem with a forum is that you get people on there who may be indeed very knowledgeable. They may be technicians. They may have owned a bike for years and years, and they know that bike inside and out, and they will share their information willingly. There are others who may have that same degree of information, and there's almost like an air of arrogance about them. There's always an air of, well, you should know, you should know this. You're not worthy to be on here, you know, all that kind of stuff. There's also, but at least they know their stuff. At least they are informed. You know, they are very well versed in what that particular bike does, or that range of bikes, let's say. Unfortunately, you get other types of people on there as well. You might get people who are genuinely going on there and asking for advice. They don't know the answer, so they're going for advice. Or they'd like to open up a topic of discussion. They may have knowledge, they may not, but they want to open a topic of discussion. And I think anybody who goes on there and is treated badly just for asking a question, I'm sorry, my advice to you would be just leave the forum, because if you're getting a negative reaction just by asking a question, then, you know, it's pointless being on there. The problem is that you will get people on there with little or no knowledge pretending to have lots of knowledge, and, you know, that's it. It also comes down to personalities as well, doesn't it? It comes down to personalities. What kind of people on there? What kind of, you know, people think that they got extra knowledge and all of a sudden they're better than you. I'm sorry, that doesn't wash with me. That doesn't wash at all. If if you want to believe you have better knowledge, that's fantastic. But it doesn't mean that you're better than anybody else just because you have better knowledge. In fact, people with little or no knowledge, we should be helping those people out as much as we can. If somebody wants to ask you a question, by all means, they have a saying in my line of work, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Sometimes that's debatable if it's obvious, but it's only a silly question or obvious because you already know the answer. But somebody out there doesn't know the answer. That's why they're asking the question. Now, it could be an education thing, it could be a research thing, it could be a whole host of issues. It's irrelevant, really. They don't know the answer. That's why they're asking the question. Therefore, at least be courteous or professional about it. And, So, whilst I gave my 2 pennies worth back to these people, they didn't come back to me, funny enough, quite interestingly. So there you go. It just goes to show, doesn't it? So all I can say is this: if anybody asks me a question on here, on any of the videos, or sends me an email directly, I'll always do my best to answer as best I can, or with whatever knowledge and experience I have on a particular issue. As I say, that's what the purpose of a lot of these videos are about, is just to share the load, share the wealth of knowledge out there, but also ask people to contribute as well. And a lot of times it's all about opinions as well. I have an opinion, you have an opinion. It doesn't necessarily make us right or wrong. I think also sometimes, you might have seen the video the other day when I was talking about the WSS connector and wiring the wheel speed sensor, about does that affect fuel metering and everything like that. Videos like that or ideas like that are sometimes just ideas. It's like, what if I did that? What would happen? What if I did this? Would that happen? Would it change this? It's about asking questions. It's about digging a little bit deeper and seeing if you do something to your bike, what will it do? Yes, ask around. So I asked around after I made that video, actually, funny enough, and I got such a negative response from a couple of people on this forum. So I think, wow, I wonder if they've ever disconnected this WSS sensor. I wonder if they even know about it. They don't really say that. It's vague. Now, they could be right, or they could be wrong. Now, what I will say is this. I've actually done, since making that video, I've actually done some speed tests on the Sport Glide. The video will be coming out soon. Watch out for that. You'll be quite surprised. You'll be quite surprised. I'll be doing more speed tests later. Now, I didn't get into buy a Harley for speed, of course, because I've had the fastest bikes, at the time, and I've, gone as fast as you like. So, sports bikes or, whatever. So it isn't about speed, but I'm always interested in asking questions. What are the limitations? Remember when I did the video about, how far you can ride on a just full tank of petrol, all that kind of stuff. So I'm asking questions. Hopefully that information comes to you, and and you find that interesting as well. The top speed on the bike in different configurations changes. So and it changes a lot according to environmental conditions as well. So I've just done a series of speed tests for a video. I'll be doing another series of speed tests later in the year when I can get a bit more time as well. And I'm going to be looking at different parameters as well. Whether if I do this to the bike, will it change it? Will I do that? Now, whenever I talk about this kind of thing, it's always about a standard bike, a stock bike. Hey Rob, how you doing? How you doing? Hello, popping in for a bit of make dinner for the kids. Right, okay. Welcome, Rob. Welcome, and good to see you here. Yeah, so whenever I talk about the bikes or reviews, primarily I'm talking about stock bike. and not necessarily performance upgrades, because then you're adding performance upgrades to it as well. There's lots of issues with performance upgrades. Again, I've got lots of videos coming out about that. Lots of errors, lots of issues that have surrounded stage 1 with the M8. And also yeah, error codes and faults and things like that. So watch out for those videos as well. But you know, let's say it is interesting about, you know, you'll have people who have lots of knowledge who may or may not be very charitable with their information, and then you have other people who don't have any knowledge and they could be even worse. So all I would say is just be very aware of, you know, people who give you information, and also people who give you negative attention just because you're asking a question. I think it's absolutely outrageous. Personally, if you ask a question, that's because you don't know the answer. So, you know, if you do ask a question on this channel to me, then I will try and answer as best I could. Now, there is another thing as well. I wanted to talk about the service bulletins, and also more information on some faults which I've been digging up on the Sport Glide and Softails in general. There have been starting issues, electrical issues, the bike just shutting down as well. There have been some misunderstandings of how the bike works in different configurations as well. I've got a few more videos coming out there, but essentially there isn't really a pattern emerging right now. It's all about individual things. It's either switch gear, it's either sensors, it's either engine control modules, it's either jiffy stand or side stand, broken wires, bad earths, all that kind of stuff. And it's usually standard stuff on all bikes, not just Harleys, that is affected by, that causes these kind of problems actually. But a lot of it's down to batteries as well. Poor battery, or a battery that's been allowed to discharge for whatever reason. Another thing is as well, if you're adding an accessory onto your bike, an electrical accessory for example, you've got to be careful if it's draining, if it's continually draining. So you've got to be careful of that. If that happens, that could drain your battery. So you either got two options. You either put it on a trickle charger every night, or you have to find a way of disconnecting that when you're not using it, only when you're riding it. So that's something to be aware of. Instead of having it directly wired up to the battery, you have it wired up to the ignition as well. So it only comes on when the run switch is on. So that's something like that. Anyway, right, well, I've been sort of doing this for, what, half an hour, something like that? Anyway, so that's all the channel updates. As I say, you know, there's lots more coming, lots more videos coming. There's lots more on the website being developed as well. But that might take a while to develop. I'm still trying to come up with some kind of database for known or past faults on the Softails, especially on the Sport Glide from 2018 onwards. It could be that that doesn't happen. It depends. I might just make the videos instead and do the live streams instead. I'll see how that goes. But also there is the more. I say there's more information coming out on the website shortly. There's going to be more free stuff I'll put on there on the resources page as well, as and when I can dig into more information about the Sport Glides and the Softails, and then possibly more information about some endurance rides that I'll be doing as well. As I say, that's still the issue about trying to live update on YouTube. So I still don't know how that's going to work out, to be honest. I've got a feeling I'm just going to do it, and I'm just going to do these rides and then possibly just release a video afterwards and not do the live updating. But oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Rob. Yeah, you got a problem with your buffering. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry about that. Not sure what to say about that. Anyway, but right. I'll be say I'll be doing the same. More videos coming out, more stuff on the website, more blog posts. I'm just about to hit 365 consecutive days of blog posts on the website, so I'm really happy about that. I've gone over 1,000 videos on the channel now, would you believe? It's interesting. When I first started the channel, I thought I want to achieve those two things. I want to achieve 365 consecutive days on the website, and I want to achieve over 1,000 videos. It's almost like I would have paid my dues, I would have paid my debt to this kind of process by doing it that way. And if anything's happened in the last sort of month, 2 months, it may seem to be starting to pay off. Getting more and more attention now, more subscribers, more views. Certain views are really hitting off. And, you know, hopefully the word will get out and more people start watching the videos as well, and the live streams and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so look, I'm just going to have a quick drink because I've been talking a lot non-stop. But anyway, so unless there's any other questions, oh, don't shoot me, but I've been looking at some Triumph today, coming back from my client. Ah, do you know what? Yeah, interestingly, yeah, I do like Triumphs as well. I've had a couple of Triumphs myself. I do like them, but I like a lot of their bikes. I don't like some other bikes. That Scrambler, the 1200, when it first came out, I made a few questioning comments about it, and I basically asked them the same thing. How good is it off-road? I mean, really, how good is it? Because they were trying to say, oh, it's fantastic off-road, it's brilliant, and it is, it's going to be capable. But how good is it? Because it is a heavy lump, and it's just like the Triumph Explorer, all the other bikes, the adventure bikes. Whilst it is lighter and it's more, once you've loaded it up with panniers or you want to take it off-road, you've got to work really hard with that. And I think any of these big bikes that you take them off-road, it's you got to be really careful with them. You got to really know what you're doing with them, and they take a lot of energy, and they're energy sapping. The problem with that Scrambler is it's capable off-road, but I think it's too big. I also don't think it's that fantastic for the road either. Again, that comes down to difference of opinions. I think if you want that kind of bike for the road to go touring, then get yourself an adventure bike. So I kind of question where it fits into the kind of on-road, off-road, dual sport type of thing. But it's a good looking bike, and I kind of like those retro looking bikes. Yamaha were doing it as well, I remember at the time. I like that. I like that sort of style. I like that kind of retro feel about it. Norton have come out with a couple of nice bikes now. The Atlas and the Ranger. Nice. They're very nice bikes. Oh, okay, right. Okay, sorry about that. It could be my connection here anyway. Anyway, look, I'm gonna head out now anyway. But thanks for tuning in. Hopefully that information there about getting information on your bike helps you out as well. Check out all the videos that are coming out soon. So lots more stuff on the website being developed as well. And saying if you've got any questions or you've got video ideas or there's a particular answer that you want to something, and if I can help or if I've got an answer to it, I'll either email you back straight away or I'll come up with a video to help you out as well. Not only you who's asking the question, but whoever else is out there as well. Right, well, I think that's it. Bye, Rob. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, Frederick. Thanks for that as well. And unless there's anything else, I'm just trying to think there, just looking at my little playlist here. That's it. So if say in 2 or 3 weeks, when I come back, I'll do another live stream. Any other updates I've got, see if I've heard back from Harley US about any particular individual, and I'll chase them up on that as well, on any individual sales figures of particular models. I think that's going to be quite interesting as well. But anyway, catch you on the next live stream and video, whenever it is. Please like, share, subscribe, leave loads of comments after you watch this back, of course. Any questions, put them in the comments as well. That's all good. And check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com. Right, bye, bye, and bye, and bye, and bye. And I've got to turn this off now. I've forgotten how do you turn it off. How do you turn it off?